Hello. Alright, there are two things going right now. But I know there's a lot going on right now. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna turn that off. And hopefully that will work. I love it. I don't know why I had them all on. But now that should be separate. We're doing it the old way right now. Is this even open and going right now? It's technically not, but it looks like it's all going, so should be good. But yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Looking at this right now. That seems to be working fine. I wish I could edit the way they're like automatically doing stuff over there. Auto start. I'm gonna enable auto start eventually. Enable DVR. I don't even know what that means anymore. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, just checking on things. Because I'm looking over there and it's like, oh, it's a little thing. Sorry, I got a lot going on today, so I'm just trying to figure everything out. This will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream, since no one's here. So it's fine. But I haven't done like a afternoon stream in a little bit, but I'm busy after this, and it didn't come out until now, so I wasn't able to do this until, yeah, so, yeah. But we're gonna get into it, hopefully sooner than later, because I gotta get back to work. So, there we go. There we go. He's a baby. Hello, shiny girl. Where's she? Oh, there they are. They want to be over there today. Goodness gracious. Why can't you be right there? Nope, they want to be right there. Right there. Lucky babies. Look at you little silly fellers. They're a bunch of silly fellers, I'll tell you what. Alright. We're gonna get into it, probably. Last week, I thought the chapter was pretty good, pretty okay. I know some people disagree, but I think that last chapter was a lot of fun. People were finally doing stuff. Usopp was doing stuff. Chopper was doing stuff. Harald finally doing a thing. And by doing stuff, I mean, like, they got, like, they're doing little things. They're not like, oh my gosh, best chapter with these guys ever, or nothing like that. But it's just like, okay, they're doing something, because I've done nothing so far, so, you know. Is Chopper the Forest God? Ugh! I don't know. Probably not the Forest God, which y'all are thinking of. There's obviously something weird going on. Hopefully it's not just like, oh, he just one-shot that giant and he's dead, because that's obviously not what happened. So obviously something weird's going on with Chopper. Is that, I feel like it's a little weird that hasn't been like built up much. I don't know. I guess as time goes on, people have to be like, no, his human fruit has to be something. It can't just be the base human fruit. It's got to be something different, because Luffy has the human fruit now. So Chopper's human fruit also has to be special. Chopper has to be special. He's got to be the ultimate panacea. He's doing gangbusters in the live action. So Oda's like, oh yeah, Chopper's a character. I guess I have to have Chopper do stuff in the actual story now that Chopper's popular in the live action. Because that's how it is. That's how it goes. But, I don't know. And, you know, we finally got Emu and Joy Boy, Luffy, finally interacting with each other. And it's like, ooh, yeah, like that. Finally, baby. So we'll see. If one or both of them are very fraudulent, we'll see. Are there going to be some equal clashes? Or they're going to be, or is Luffy just going to knock Emu out pretty easily? We'll see. Who's going to get some hits in? Will there be choreography? Or will there just be big punches? Or weird stuff? Will Usopp do anything else this arc? I don't know. He was right there by Arachnir, but we'll see if that sticks or not. Is it just going to be Loki and Loki by themselves? Or is everyone going to come together? Is Sanji going to help? Who's Sanji going to help with? Because Gillingham's done for. It looks like all the rest of the Giants are getting mopped up pretty quickly. Summers, we haven't seen Summers in a little bit. We know he got punched real hard by Luffy, but we don't know if that ended him or not. You know, Gillingham somehow got one shot by Sanji 2 chapters ago and hadn't come back. So that's something. You just finished the chapter? Well, I have not started the chapter, so we're going to be starting it up. My voice is gone this week because, of course, we're back to that happening and being a thing again. So it's going to be a little raspy today, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. I guess I'll just blame the pollen. Hopefully, it's just the pollen this time around, and nothing too dire, but we deal with those things. But I don't have too much time because we're in the middle of the day, so we're gonna pedal to the metal, get through this. Hopefully it'll be a good one. I like last chapter. I didn't like 2 chapters ago with Dorian Bragi with the fake death. I don't like that. And the Frankie thing is still a little weird, and I don't like that Killingham got one shot, which is crazy. I thought that was like going to be the start of a fight. Obviously he's alluding to like, oh, don't underestimate us. But we'll see if he comes back and has like a real fight as a person and not just a bunch of nightmare things. I liked the Usopp speech last week. I know some people didn't. I thought it was good and fine, and I liked it. I like that Usopp is taking on Emu. He's shooting shots at Emu, and Brook being cool too. And I like it when Luffy gets serious, and it looks like Luffy's getting serious, which we haven't really seen a serious Luffy in Gear 5 all that much, because he really wasn't all that... He never got super duper serious in Egghead, which was like a little bit problematic in certain points, like especially with like Vegapunk dying right in front of him and it being a little weird, and I mean, I have my qualms with the end of Egghead. I have made a very large video about it. So, and I like seeing serious Luffy, I love Snake Man. I like Gear Second. I like that good stuff. I like it when Luffy gets serious. But we'll see if he can keep that up right now. Because one of his Nakama just got hurt by the main villain. The main villain and the main character are together for the first time. Finally. So we'll see how that goes. Will one of them be fraudulent? They're both on fraud watch right now, technically. So we'll see. We'll see who counters who. Is Luffy going to get anything in there? Or is it just going to be a complete wash from Luffy? Is Luffy going to get busted up? Because we haven't seen really Gear 5 get busted up yet. So we will have to see. Let's get into it. Live action screen gave me a piece of gum. Okay. You're a weirdo, Oda. Luffy and Loki confront Gunko. All right. Yeah, this is going to be my voice, by the way. You're just going to have to deal with that. But we are going to... We're gonna get serious here, though. We're gonna get serious in this biz. Luffy and Loki confront Gunko. Oi, Luffy! So they're all chilling with killing him still. And Nami's there. We like Nami. Huh? Brook? Usopp? I don't know about that. A little weird. So, he just took them out of the fight immediately. Oh, and Luffy left too. Okay, they're all left. But they're all together. Bro, not all the Straw Hats, but a lot of the Straw Hats are together right now. Everyone besides Chopper and Zoro and Robin are here. I'll leave them to you. What's going on over there? What do you mean leave them to you? Where's Chopper? We need the doctor here. Need backup. You know, I'm a cool guy. It'd be cool if, you know, it'd be really cool if Frankie and Luffy fought together in a fight. Wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't that be neat? If Luffy and Frankie fought together, he just got a big power up, so maybe he can handle things now. He's like, I'll count on you if things get bad. For now, I'd take a few steps back if I were you. Okay. Well, you know what? That's better than, no, I'll handle this myself. It's better than that. He's like, hey, I'll count on you if things get bad. It's kind of crazy. Loki's a real wild card. Look who's talking. Look at Sanji being the cool guy. Look at Luffy being a cool guy who's not, does not have the helmet though. Interesting, because, you know, that was like the big weird thing earlier in the arc where Luffy's Viking helmet gave him the horns, but I guess Oda was like, I forgot about that. 'Twas but a few years ago when a giant ship was glimpsed at sea. What? Glimpsed? That's a word. 'Twas but a few years ago when a giant ship was glimpsed at sea, helmed by a captain of truly immense stature. The craft was never... Oh, wait, no. That's her saying that. The craft was never identified, for it skulked deep beneath fog-shrouded regions. Yet it only ever targeted world government vessels. Huh. I mean, that sounds like what Harald was doing back in the Triangle. But we know that he was doing the opposite. He was helping the world government and only attacking pirates. So maybe, is that what Loki was doing instead? That he was attacking the world government instead when he was doing it? I don't know. But he's charging up a big old Boro Black. Has he done this? I mean, he just did that last week, yeah. Oh, is the popularity poll done? I didn't even check. Is that done? I gotta check now. No. 3/4 through 6/11. No, we have a... Okay, no. There's a large voting period, but I guess... Oh, okay. Whoa! Sanji's at #1 in Japan? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Bro, what's going on with Sanji? Asia. Luffy. Okay, cool. I like that Nami's #4. Freaking Law, though. Freaking Law. Law and Ace. What about North America? Bro, Sanji's winning. Sanji's just a winner. Of course. Bro, this is a good top 5. This is a good top 5 right here. Nico and Nami? Nico, Robin, and Nami? I mean, I would put Nami before Nico, Robin, but that's just me. I'm not gonna touch that. Okay. Okay. What's going on in the... I'm about to say, what's going on in the Middle East right now? This is the most important thing going on in the Middle East. Why is Nami at #1 and Rock's at 5? Bro, Nami's #1 in Europe. Okay, good. Okay, I like this. I like this. Maybe I should be on the Nami train then, because Nami's my goat. Nami's my goat. And then Central and South America. So Sanji has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4! And then Luffy has just 1. That's crazy. Asia and so like China. Not Zoro has 1. Just Africa. Joke writes itself. And Nami has 1, 2, 2. Bro, that's crazy. Sanji... Nami is the GOAT. If I'm being real. That's crazy. I know I say that a lot, but... I love that Nami's on top in a lot of these things. I love that it's like, for most of these things... Okay, Shanks... And then Law is in some of these. And then Rox is in one of them. Yeah, Law, and Ace. And then Law. But Law is not in North America, thank goodness. Because, thank goodness. Loving these votes. Yeah, I mean, like, Kaku. We need to see where Kaku is on this. That's where my votes have been going. Speaking of which, right now. We gotta do it right now. We gotta do it right now. I know I'm wasting time. I know I'm mid-chapter. But guess what? We're getting Kaku in here. We gotta vote for Kaku. I agree. We love Kaku. Let's go. Those are some W top 10s. Right there. I mean, like, Luffy being at number 1 also, like, makes the most sense to me. I would honestly put Luffy at number 1. He is my number 1 character, if I'm being, like, for real, for real. It really is like Nami, Luffy and Nami are, like, my 2 characters. And then Frankie. Frankie would be cool if Frankie and Chopper were up there. Nah, Chopper wouldn't be up there. Frankie wouldn't be up there. Whatever. Oh, Law, I mean, that's just how it is. Law is just like the big cool guy. I mean, Ace was on the Japan thing for number 5, and Ace has not been in the story for literally a decade. So, over a decade. Decade and a half. No, I really don't. I think that these polls, like, maybe for, like, Africa and Oceania, maybe that would be taking account of things, but no. People's, like, Japan and North America, they know who they choose on things. Kind of, that's how I feel like. And Law's just always going to be up there, like, forever and ever, especially in Japan, because he's a cute boy who's cool. Alright, so Loki's charging up a blast. She's talking about a captain of a giant ship taking out government vessels in a frog-shrouded region, which sounds like what Harald was doing, but I guess Loki may have also been doing that. He does a blast. Luffy's running in. Hey, leave some for me. During that self-same period, a number of credible rumors started to emerge. She got away. Where did she get to? She's so damn small. Oh no, Loki's stupid. Oh no. Observation hockey, L, Loki downscale immediately? Loki, do you have future sight? Bro, Katakuri over Loki already. We're seeing it. We're seeing it right here. Katakuri over Loki. Mother flipper does not even have future sight. Kaido had future sight. That dragon had future sight. This guy. I don't know, man. I don't know. A number of credible rumors started to emerge concerning the sighting of an unimaginably large flying beast. The truth is plain to see now. There you are. You'll pay for what you did to Usopp and Brook. Get up, Usopp. Get up. Where's Ragnar? What's Ragnar up to? What is that thing on top of Luffy, on Loki's head right there? What's up with that? Loki, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. We'll see. Loki's on fraud watch. What? What just happened? Luffy's like, what just happened? Okay, she just is exploding blood or hockey. I don't know what that is. And it looks like she went out of her, her wings disappeared too. Something came out. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, that's him. That's the guy. That's the feller. If only thou were erased from the world, as Rocks was before thee. Ooh, bringing up Rocks. Now remember, how much does Luffy actually know about Rocks? Because we know in the span of like 3 minutes, Loki told him and Iruden a story, and that's where we learned about Rocks. But it would be silly to assume that Loki said all of that within the span of 3 minutes of that entire backstory regarding Rocks and stuff. I don't know, though. I don't know. It's hard to know. Not the thing wrapped around his horn. I'm talking about, like this little square with these, like, 3 little, dots on them. It looks like it's, like, maybe, like, part of a helmet or something, but I don't even know how that would work. That's what I'm talking about up there. This right up here. If only thou were erased from the world as Rocks was before thee. Aquerel. Demonic covenant, all right? Little pentagrams inside hockey things. Thou shalt cast aside a portion of thy lifespan and receive unprecedented strength. What? Bro, he stabbed him. Luffy got stabbed. That's no bueno. I'm sure you can. You can sum it up for sure. I believe you, but... In exchange for this blessing, thou shalt loathe each other. Did he get stabbed too? Did Loki... I see a... I think so. I think they both got stabbed. Thou shalt cast aside a portion of your lifespan. Oh, you can't be doing that to Luffy. Luffy's done that enough already. He already took a good chunk of that out, and... Well, yeah, Gear 2's been doing that since City's Lobby, and then also Impel Down, and then... We don't know technically if Gear 5 is doing that yet, but boy howdy, it seems like it. Domi Reversi. Oh, they're Domi reversing Loki and Luffy? Oh no, are we gonna get Luffy versus Loki finally? What in the world? Is that what's about to happen? We'll see. They're sweating. What's the big idea? This thing doesn't even hurt. Just... What's a pain? Wait, did you just say Rocks? Bro, Loki looks pretty good with those eyes. See, the eyes don't look freaky deaky right now when they're coming from a dragon. I guess so. It's weird to think if he's wearing a helmet or not. If that got into him like that. As expected, these two are truly... Yeah, well, it's a good thing that didn't work. It's a good thing that didn't work. Love it. Love it. That's my goat. That's my goat, Luffy, right there. Love it. Just like lightning doesn't affect him, this Domi Reverse, he said like, nah, we ain't doing that gimmick. Ooh, I said the G word. That's one of the words that people like to use nowadays in their streams. Gimmick. They be doing the gimmick. So he's gum-gumming. Oh, he's gonna Gatlin. She's too puny to fight like this. Squeak, squeak. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is he transmogrifying into his hybrid form? You can even see the plate right there. Looks like that's getting smaller. Yeah, it looks like he's getting smaller. Oh, Luffy's using hockey. He's putting hockey on his fists. Booming Dawn Gatling. There we go. Bro, it's been a while. Bro, when was the last time we got a good old Gatlin? When was the last time? Has it been since Kai? No, no. Booming Dawn Gatling. This is what we did against Saturn. I'm dumb. I like a good old Gatlin. I like a good old JoJo, Ora. Speaking of which, I don't know if I talked about that last week, but Steel Ball Run, that stuff is good. I'm not going to be doing reactions to that. I can't be bothered to try doing video reactions. Too complicated. But Steel Ball Run, that's the sauce. That's the goat. That's the actual goated stuff, man. I'm going to save this one because I like Booming Dawn Gatling. Ragnar. Oh! On a little face. I know, I like doing that. I think that's the problem with a lot of these people, is that they're trying to put lo-fi under when they're reading One Piece, and it's like, no, you can't just put lo-fi under it. You gotta to get in the mood of these fights, you gotta do that, and then it enhances things. Move it, Luffy! Whoa, hold up. So he just punched the Bajubies off of Emu right there, which is like, okay, is Emu there, or is that just like a spirit version and not actual it's their physical form? I don't know. He doesn't look concerned though. Well, nah, he don't look too concerned. Niflheim! What in the world am I looking at? Right, I forgot that it does like this certain like ice thing. I keep forgetting that it does that. Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened to the nightmare thing when he first did that last time. He's not in hybrid form, by the way. He just went back to his regular form. But that's still pretty cool, though. And it looks like he entrapped it in a thing of ice when he hit it. Oh, he knocked out... Oh, he got Gunko in there, too. Wow, is that your finishing move? But I wasn't done kicking ass yet. Oh, there he goes. Huh, interesting. So she, like, froze him with Gunko in there. I have no idea what you are, but doing it this way is much quicker. Besides, I was way too big for way too long. So, we were hoping that by this time he was done with this. I'm kind of, not disappointed, but like, at the very beginning of Elbaf, it was showing like, ooh, Luffy's doing like Gear 4 stuff, Gear 4 attacks without even going into Gear 4, and that's really cool. And then we saw him going in and out of Gear 5 a couple times in Elbaf without him having to go all the way to this. But I guess he hasn't gone like all out. He didn't go all out against Road or against Scopper. So I guess it makes sense that he's still doing this, but he's holding up a little better. But I guess it's good. They both get a break. Interesting, though, that they have him trapped. We'll see how long that lasts. Back in the fishing village. Focus on putting out the fires. That Loki prick may have taken down the monsters for us, but cleaning up after him is his own calamity. My goodness. Back in the hunting village. So we were wrong about Loki killing King Harald? We may have misjudged him there. But look at this mess. He's still in the pain in the ass, Maverick. It looks like, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Go, Zeus, keep pouring. I'll do my best. She's doing stuff. Sea Cloud. Shoulder throw. There we go. There we go. We were waiting for Jimbei the janitor to be doing that. Even the OCDs have limits, you know. All right. Vegapunk. Helping. Being a part of the story. Did we see Bonnie 2 chapters ago? What's Bonnie up to? Bonnie knows how to go into Gear 5. That's still really important. She's on this island. Kuma's body is on this island somewhere. We have not seen Kuma's body. Kuma's body was in the ship. Haven't seen him. Also, there's a rainbow. There's a stone that turns lets you float on rainbows. Hadn't seen that show up in a while either. Also, there's a cat that turns into a lion. Remember the cat? Remember the cat that turns into a lion? It's just like, does that cat have a lion fruit? Does that cat have a cat fruit? Does the cat have a cat fruit? I guess so. Where'd it go? I don't know. Went outside. What happened to what happened to the guy riding the grasshopper? What happened to him? What's he doing? What's he up to? What's he up to? I don't know. That cat is dead. He died in the cold. Also, there's a bunch of weird like cultists in the underworld that like are followers of Loki. Loki has a bunch of weird cultist followers that haven't been mentioned. They were on like 2 pages and then they disappeared. Bro, what happened to those cultists? Back in the village. You know, I did put Usopp in the thumbnail. He was technically at the beginning, but whatever. I've been putting like, I don't know. I've been changing up the thumbnails a little bit where I've been putting anime stuff in there, so. Well, actually from Stampede, the thumbnail I used. Did we do it? This feels very like Calm Before the Storm right now. If they all flip back to white, then yeah. But if some start to regenerate, then it wasn't enough. Forgive us, chiefs. It was like some kind of malicious darkness swallowed us whole. Don't fret over it. We couldn't resist it either. Ah, damn you, captains. How dare you? There's still 2 or 3 left. Is that Chopper? Is that Chopper? Is that Chopper's nasty little deer leg? All right, I got this. Chopper? So Zoro's like, I'll keep killing things. I love to kill things. But Chopper's like, nah, I got this. And the little demons come out. Which look a lot like the nightmare creatures that we have been fighting that Killing Him made. But I feel like that's got to be unrelated. And he's just reusing these little things. They got flipped. Zoro! What the hell did you just do? No idea. Seems like I can undo their demonification just by hitting them. Zoro. And Chopper. Man, Chopper looks weird. I like that. Chopper looks weird. Maybe it's because you're an amazing doctor? What? Don't you dare think that kind of praise makes me happy. Because it don't, you jerk. Now that's gotta be it. You're amazing. Well, that obviously makes no sense. But it is, okay, they are definitely being like, okay, there's something weird about Chopper. Is he the forest god, the forest spirit, like people are saying? I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm sure if the word forest is literally in there, then like that'll be something. I mean, the people who said that will get their dubs. I guess I kind of glazed over last week that the weirdness of that, of how like, oh, it's probably like something interesting because like if we're being for real, it comes out of nowhere because it's just like, oh, like we're doing something with Chopper, we're doing something with the Straw Hats, because that's not something we've done since Whole Cake. So, well, since like Wano, since like Sanji in Wano. That's the last time a Straw Hat has, like, had things going on with him. With Sanji and Wano. And that's it. And like Enma, I guess, but like, has the word Enma been said once in Elbaf? I don't think so. I don't think Enma was even talked about at all in Egghead either. I don't know. I guess I gotta go back on that. I gotta go back to that and look. Well, we've sorted the mess around here. Wonder how the others are doing. Who's left? Besides Summers is somewhere. We don't know what Summers is up to. And like, I feel like we're at a point, like we're at a pause right now in the action. Emu is frozen, which is like, okay. We'll see if he just busts out of that, or if your boy Shamrock shows back up, or if the Revolutionaries show up, or if Buggy shows up. Remember when everyone was like, Elbaf, this is the one. Davy back fight with Shanks and Buggy. Maybe Kid's in there too. We're having that Davy back fight for that very last poneglyph. We still don't know who the man marked by flames is. Like, it was feeling like it was going to be Scopper, but now I'm like, it's not Scopper. No sign of enemy activity in the Artisan Village. More fires have broken out, though. No foes in Alcohol Village either. Just raging flames. Oh, Alcohol Village is not completely destroyed. I guess they brought themselves back up a little bit. Good for them. I like that lady. That lady, she's got the Loki horns going upwards. We don't see that a lot. Dot. Well, those aren't dots. What is that supposed to mean? Are those like does that mean like buzzing out of the Dindinmushis, or because that's not what it looked like in Egghead. Or is that just a mistake? I have no idea. Seems like all that's left is to extinguish the fires. Keep your eyes peeled in case any of those demons are still alive out there. So we were dealing with the fire thing before the flashback. Because it was like, okay, killing them set the library on fire, which we fixed that. But now everything's on fire just because of Loki. Literally just because Loki is being reckless. So it's not even like the other people's fault. It's Loki's fault. As an owl librarian, saw what's going on here. There's definitely fire damage, but the shelves are empty. There should be at least fragments of books left. Ooh, were the books taken? Or did the funny owl guy... Remember, there's an owl in that library. There's an owl librarian. Biblo, I was about to say. Biblo the owl ain't here either. I don't want to be too optimistic, but... You think he might have moved the books? I mean, he can make the books really tiny, so maybe make the books really tiny. You think he might have moved the books? I'd be overjoyed if he did, but... Even if that were possible, where did he go? Things got wrapped up pretty quickly. Once we went on the offensive, huh? Okay. He's like tied up right now. His mouth is. Well, it ain't like this was a full-on war against their whole organization, you know? Even if these guys are Knights of the Holy Land, there are only 3 of them. True. There were like 7 Toby Ropo. When was the last time we got like there's like 3 of them type thing? Because, you know, CP9, there was a good number of them. And then, you know, Toby Robo, there's a good number of them. Doflamingo's family. Oh, Doflamingo had so many family members. You know, there was like 7 or 8 vice admirals. And then, you know, there was like the 5 or 6 Gorosei. So, you know. So I guess them only bringing 3 was like, ooh, that's how powerful they are. But I guess not. Maybe they should have just brought more. Then obviously, like all the way back in Arlong Park, it was just like Arlong and Hachi and Chu and Karate Shark Boy. There's only 4 of them. But there were only 4 Straw Hats at the time, so. Yeah, I don't really read Viz because I'm usually done with this by the day. Yeah, it's insane how thoroughly they managed to devastate somewhere as massive as Elbaph. What happened to the Great One? Outskirts of the West Village. West Village, not O-West, because that's the name of the castle, is O-West Castle. Even though, that's the castle up there. That's a big dinosaur handprint. What's up with that? Why is there a big handprint? Oh, is that... that's Luffy's doing. Damn it! There we go. What? Here we go. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Why is there a beaten heart right there? So he's a little ahead. That's weird. That, I guess they're not regenerating now, but now they're just going full on like Law and Buggy type stuff. Loki, I'm hungry. What's up with the heart though? This freaking weirdly shaded hockey heart. Is that his? Did it just insinuate that it went inside him? Like that heart is inside his head? I don't think so. I think that's just separate. Is that his heart? Is that a different heart? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Go back to the village then. It ain't like I carry food on me. You don't? What's with that weird look anyway? Squirrel, I'm hungry. He squeaking? And then he poof, he disappears. He's like, I'm out. He was like, I'm out. Holy Wind of Mary Joie. Okay, I don't see a fire, but I see some stuff going on over here. Like something that was a fire. Are we going to get Blackbeard stuff? Has Blackbeard made his move? Pangea Castle, Flower Room. Ooh, the butterflies are black. Elders. Yes, Great Emu. The Holy Land will be without Mu for a short while. Could Emu really be... So Emu's like, I just gotta go. We gotta go. I gotta go. we gotta nip this in the bud. Which, okay, something's been going on in the Holy Land. We can see. Yeah, right, it was Loki, not Luffy. Luffy punches. He doesn't splat that often. He hasn't done that in a while. Something's been going on. It looks like whatever happened is over, though. And there's a ... by this little pillar of sorts. And then he says elders. And there's someone bowed over here. I don't know if that's just one of their helpers, because we know that one of their helpers is Gunko, who's gone. But that could be one of the elders. The Holy Land will be without Mu for a short while. And then there's like a big old thing, so it's just like the elders are surprised by this. Cool, though. That's interesting. That makes me feel... I don't know. Is the final battle going to be in the Holy Land, or is it going to be somewhere else? We will see. But it sounds like Elbaph is going to be a little bit longer than we thought, possibly. To rescue his blue-haired princess? You mean Vivi? I mean, Vivi's not at Elbaph. We don't know that Vivi's going to Elbaph either. Don't know about that. It's not Dragon. They already did that. No, that's not how storytelling works. Like, we already had an arc where the revolutionaries infiltrated the Holy Land, did some stuff, and left. Like, they did their job of, like, taking the supply chain off and starving them out. So I really doubt that we would just have another infiltration arc of them. Like, it's just like, well, that's what they did last time. We'll do it again. Not that I don't know what else the revolutionaries would be doing. It's not like they're going after the One Piece, or there's no reason for them to be going to Elbaf. There's really no reason for them to be going anywhere except for the Holy Land, I guess. Unless they're like, we gotta get Kuma. Which, nope. What's Kuma up to? I don't know. He's not doing much. But he's around. His body's somewhere. His body's doing something. Bonnie's here somewhere. Bonnie's important still. Right. Surely. I don't know. Ah, yeah, I keep forgetting that Gunko has blue hair and is a princess. Yeah. And then we saw the pictures, obviously, of Luffy and Vivi and Shirahoshi as well. I wonder if those black butterflies are literally emu or not. It is crazy, though, that Luffy punched Emu today. We got Luffy punching Emu with Haki. And this ice attack is very cool. This is like one of the cooler things that we've actually seen out of an attack in One Piece in a while. This cool, like, frozen attack where they're, like, frozen in there. So yeah, Emu was like shot out, but still connected to Gunko, and they did that. I like that Domi Reversi didn't work. Hopefully that's the end. I know a lot of people don't like Domi Reversi. So hopefully we're nearing the end of that. But also we see something about Chopper doing that, which, ooh, bro, what if Emu was like, Chopper, I'm coming for you? That'd be crazy. Which we didn't really get more from that. We just got more, like, kind of confirmation of, like, okay, there's something about this. But that problem is solved. Killing him, that's solved. Summers. I don't know. His teeth came back. Literally in one panel right here. His teeth, not here. Teeth back already. So, don't know what's up with the heart. Is that the secret, though, to Domi Reversi? Is that, like, you have to destroy the heart to kill them? Is that what they're going for now? Because they've already said, like, they've already given, like, 4 explanations on how to defeat Domi Reversi of use this big hockey thing, just kill them, and then, or do some weird thing with Chopper's fruit. So we've already got 3, like, okay, this is how you defeat Domi Reversi things. If they're adding, like, a 4th, like, oh, you gotta get them in the heart, actually. Their heart is the core. And they will keep reviving unless you get the weird hockey heart. You have to use perfect Conqueror's hockey to do that. Of course, that's for God's Knights. That's for people with the Pact, not Domi Reversi, so it's different. Chess. I'm glad that, like, this little arc is kind of over, though. This whole, like, Summers killing him, Gunko, this little arc is done. Dealing with the kids, that's done. Dealing with a bunch of Domi Reversi, that's done. But, like, what happens next? Like, right now we know that Emu's coming back, and I'm sure he's going to bring probably Shamrock with him. That's what we're just assuming, though. For a while, I was like, I don't know if Shamrock's coming back to Elbaf or if they're saving him for another time. But they might be. Might come with some reinforcements. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens next, though. I'm excited. I'm excited for some change now in the in how things are going. Because, and also there was like a big like thing on like, these guys were actually kind of pretty easy. What the heck? Like, there's been like this weird calm before the storm. Yes, because even Sanji's like, hey, this was weirdly easy. Which it has been. Like, has Sanji even broke? Because that's never happened in an arc before. Where it's like, hey, Zoro and Sanji, like, didn't break a sweat. Maybe since, like, Fishman Island or something, because, I don't know. But, like, you know. Dressrosa. I mean, I don't know. Was Zoro really struggling in Dressrosa? Some people would argue that he wasn't, that he was doing A-okay. He didn't really get beat up that much in Dressrosa. You know, Pico kind of wasn't that difficult of a boss. Like, I mean, like, it took a lot of cool strategy and stuff, but there was never like, oh man, Zoro's really beat up now. We never really got that. We just got him fighting Pico and then holding back a birdcage. I haven't read Dressrosa in a very, very long time though. I probably know the least about Dressrosa than any arc at this point. Like, thinking back on like my knowledge of all of the arcs in One Piece, I think that I have the least amount of knowledge about Dressrosa, of like remembering what happened. Like, I remember all of Pre-Time Skip, not perfectly, but pretty well. But I've watched the anime for those two, so that doesn't count. I know Egghead pretty back and forth at this point. And then Wano. There's not much I've forgotten about Wano. And then Whole Cake. There's a lot going on with Whole Cake at the beginning and stuff, but I think I got the gist of all the Whole Cake. But Dressrosa is like one of those of just like, man, I don't remember half of the stuff that happened here. And we'll see how it is for this, but yeah, fun arc. Nothing blew me away or nothing, like I said. Like, I don't know. Also, the library thing, interesting. I'm glad they mentioned Biblo the owl once more. Did he save the books? It is interesting that the shelves are empty. That must have been the bird. It's not like it was killing him or anyone who did that anyways. Golly. I don't understand why you're so dumb. Zoro, you're not supposed to be dumb. Why do you be like, mate, why did you do this? Because you're an amazing doctor. I don't know. I mean, like, you know, I will say, cope time, you know. He is the panacea. He will cure everything, you know. That's Chopper's whole MO. That's his goal at the end. So if there's something about his devil fruit that actually is like, hey, he did just cure them of a weird disease when you think about it. So maybe some part of him is the ultimate panacea, and that's how he. Maybe this is the start of Chopper actually actualization of his dreams. Was it a short chapter? I don't know. Of course, we didn't. It wasn't a long break or nothing. So it was an action chapter. I liked it. It was like it was an action-y chapter, and it wasn't just like a bunch of one-shots. Well, I don't know. I'm glad that Domi Reversi doesn't work on either of them, though. That's nice. Though, if we're talking about agenda, though, must say, Loki confirmed not to have future sight. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right here. We have seen not a lot of. I mean, we've seen zero observation hockey use in all of Elbaf. Let's be real. It has not been mentioned once. Maybe during like the Scopper fight, but like I don't even know about that. And just like, ooh, we can sense the hockey from far away. Ooh. There's been a little bit of that too, I guess, but Loki being like, where is she when she's right there? It's like, Katakuri could see him. Probably. You know, could you even Domi? Agenda. Agenda time. You can... Katakuri, his future sight is so good. His future sight is so good that he can't be Domi reversing because, you know, when you punch him, he'll just like mochi, just like make a hole in him. And it was just like, you can't even touch him. You can't even touch him. You can't even touch Katakuri. Because he's not automatically doing it like, you know, Crocodile trained himself to. You know, could you say, could Smoker be Domi reversing because he's a Logi and it just goes through him or whatever? Probably, because of weird hockey shenanigans. But Katakuri, that's skill. That's just skill. That's just him just being on that next level of observation hockey to where Emu would be like, Domi reversey. And it'd just go, that big old black thing would just go right through him and be like, nope, don't touch me. Buzz cut mochi. And then, bah. And then he'd win because Katakuri's the coolest. Loki did... well, I mean... It was a little bit of... Would he have done that? Would he have one-shot Emu if he didn't do that? I don't know. And did he one-shot Emu? I don't know. He froze Gunko, but Gunko wasn't in the best place. But I think now... I feel like it's too soon for the Gunko flashback, but I think we're going to be getting it actually pretty soon. The question of, will we be getting it before or after Emu shows back up, and before more during this lull will we figure it out? Because I'm sure that's the first thing that's going to happen, is that somehow they're going to unfreeze her and then like interrogate her, and then Brook's going to be like, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. And then on this I'm glad that all of this is done, because I feel like this is all set up. And like the whole, like, you know, complaining about Usopp not getting a lot of stuff until like right now at the very end, which would be fair criticism if this, you know, fight between these four people was the end. But it looks like there's gonna be, you know, kind of like a round 3 of things. So now that we've set up stuff with Chopper and Usopp right here, once Emu comes back, probably with Shamrock, maybe with more Gods and Knights that we haven't seen yet, possibly. There are those other families. There is that one guy who looked like killing him and Doflamingo combined. That lady who got cut in half. It's like, where are those people? Because if all these people are Gods Knights, then they should be immortal anyways. So they should not be dead. But yeah, now that, like, there's a lull in things, and hopefully there'll be time for, like, healing and stuff for Brooks and that, and then more story stuff with Brooks and Gunko. And then probably more, like, exploration on this Chopper thing. I'm glad we have, like, space now. We have room to breathe again in Elbaf proper, which we haven't had in a while. Ever since the Gods Knights, like, really showed up. Now we're out of, like, the introductory phase of, like, learning what Elbaf's all about and all that. Maybe there'll be time for Frankie to be like, hey, I saw this mural. What's up with that? Because remember, that was the whole thing of just like, oh, I need to show this mural thing. And then, you know, also him with the Atomwood stuff. Is there going to be time for the Atomwood stuff? You know? There's time for a lot of these things to happen. You know, Sanji and Conqueror's Hockey. We still have time for that to come up. Zoro, not doing much this arc. Well, he's fighting, but, like, character-wise, Zoro, there's not much for him to be doing. Jinbei's not really a character. He's just a guy. Jinbei hasn't had a character moment really since, you know, Whole Cake. He's just been a guy on the team that punches. A guy who, you know, he's the janitor where people are like, oh, thanks, Jinbei. But there hasn't been like a, oh man, Jinbei type moment. Like we just got that with Frankie at least. And we got a good moment with Usopp last week. And I think we will be getting more. I'm more confident now that we're in this little lull of things, that we'll be getting more. People are cocky. They're like, things got wrapped up pretty quickly once we went on the offensive. We'll see if they have to go on the defense soon. Now remember, Emu's like, hey, I gotta leave. Remember, how far away Marijuana is to Elbaf. They're very far away. So we'll see. Is he just going to teleport, I guess, back to the castle, because that's where they already got a place for it. So they could just teleport, I guess. But, like, what's the difference between that and then, like, Emu proper being there? I don't know. Luffy needs some time to get food. And then we'll figure out maybe what's been going on. If we get, like, an actual intermission, though, because we haven't gotten that at all in all of Elbaf. We haven't gotten a, hey, let's look at what's going on over there. Like, we got a little... Well, I guess we didn't get that in the middle of Egghead, did we? Bro, the beginning of Egghead. Bro. Blackbeard versus Boa and Kobe, bro, and the introduction to Cross Guild, bro. Those are like my two favorite. That's why I got into making videos about One Piece to begin with, was before even Egghead started, but just like how good those two chapters were after we initially left Wano. I like it when Blackbeard does stuff. I hope Blackbeard does stuff again. Like, we still got to see what Law's up to. We got to see what happened to Law. We know that Egghead and Winter Island and Elbaf are all close. So it could be insinuated that Law could be coming to Elbaf. And then we also know that Kid is at the bottom of the ocean right now. And we know that Shanks left Elbaf, but I don't know. We still got to figure out what was going on between Loki and Shanks, why they fought like 6 years ago, and why he was chained up. Because, like, we know that after the Harald flashback that Loki just pieced off. He was like, hey, I'm going to go be a pirate. And they actually talked about that here. Don't forget about that. Talking about him going into the Florian Triangle and taking out government ships. If only thou were erased from the world as rocks was before thee. A few years ago. So he was knocking people out held by a captain, acting like Loki had. Calling Loki a captain is a stretch. Acting like he has anyone on his. He's a one-man show. Yeah, so Loki was just like pirating and attacking world government ships. And they were like, hey, there's a big monster. Hold up. Are they... No. I was about to say, are they insinuating right here that Loki is... like that guy? No, surely not. Where's the actual panel of that? It's not this. Am I dumb? Like, I'm trying to remember the page that this was on at this point. Because now they're not even showing it to me. No, I mean like... this guy. Like the guy in the Florian Triangle. One, I can't find the panel anywhere. I don't remember where the panel in the actual manga is. But could this have been Loki the whole time? It is fortunate that the white mist hangs over today as well, concealing the sea's bizarre face with a white veil. And then you had that, but I remember, where's the panel of, like, the big guy, though? Why is there no panel of the big guy? It's whatever, man. I remember there being a panel of a big guy, but maybe I'm just stupid. True. I'm just thinking, because they were like, hey, Loki is, you know, doing stuff. He's being a silly sack of sausages over in these areas. A large flying beast, too. So I guess we haven't seen a large flying beast. That thing wasn't flying. I think we would have known that, and specifically saying a large flying beast, so I don't know. I'm like, ooh, did we figure that out? Because at first it was like, ooh, was it Harald? Because they were kind of insinuating that in the Harald flashback. But now I'm like, was it Loki? Because it's like, hey, Loki was doing the exact same stuff that Harald was doing, except he's doing it against the world government. Luffy is at his limit. He is at his limit. Which is like, okay, I thought we were done with that because he hasn't done that at all in this arc yet. So I thought it was like, okay, in between Egghead and Elbaf, he's, you know, gotten better spirited. You know, he can use Gear 4 punches outside of Gear 4, which is cool, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, connect the dots and some stuff on Loki doing that. There being a weird thing out in the Floridian Triangle 2 years ago. And then Harald also doing the same thing. The Sea King Loki made? I don't know about Loki making things. We know that Loki has weird ice powers, but that's the only powers that we've seen Loki have is turn into a giant dragon and put things in block of ice and lightning breath. So I don't know about that. Well, I guess Loki didn't have that power. I guess that's Ragnar's power. Yeah, I got it. I love the hear me outs if they're for realsies. Sometimes people are all over the place, but yeah. What if what? We'll find out. I actually gotta go. I'm like, I do need to be getting back to work soon. I got some stuff I gotta do. But I gotta hear this what if, though. There's nothing in this pipe. I'm just chewing on it. It's not a good pipe. Well, it was a gift, but I don't think I can actually smoke with it. I don't know what I use that for. I like having it in my mouth, though. I don't know. This chapter's got the gears turning a little bit for me. Just connecting some dots on some things. His real power. Blackbeard's real power is the human fruit model emu. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. It is interesting because how, you know, what counters what. It's been a while since we do need to delve more into that darkness fruit and like how important it is. Because obviously, it was important to Blackbeard for his stuff and like killing Whitebeard, and possibly getting us. We don't know if that has to do with him getting a second thing. We still didn't understand that. The Rock's flashback didn't tell us, hey, how come he didn't die when he got 2 fruits? So we didn't get that answered. And the darkness fruit, it kind of made more sense on like what it was back when things were simpler. Back when life was simpler in One Piece, before hockey, before even hockey. It was just like, hey, this counters devil fruits. Which, I don't know if Emu themselves counter devil fruits. I mean, if we saw any countering today, we saw Emu being countered by Luffy and Loki. They both, you know, did not get Domi reversing, so definitely some counters going on, so. Is he immune? I don't know. I know he takes damage from things. I don't know if he's immune to devil fruits completely. I don't think he ever got cut in half by Law. I mean, he got set on fire by people with by Ace. So he wasn't immune to Ace's fire fruit. We didn't see him get cut in half by Law. We just saw Stronger, the horse, get cut by him. Chopper's also countering things. There's a lot of weird counters going on right now. Bit of Emu L's going on. Domi Reversi getting countered on in a lot of different ways via strong hockey or weird Chopper stuff or just killing them. Also, we got the weird heart thing. We got Summers, you know, with a weird beating heart out. What's up with that? Is that important, or is that just like a weird, funny thing that Oda just did right there, where it's just like, oh, that's his heart? I haven't reread some of that in a little bit. Man, I thought that Sun God thing was gonna be he was gonna be the princess of the arc. No, I don't know. I mean, I was talking about that earlier of just like, hey, where'd that cat go? Where'd that cat? There's a cat with a cat fruit that turns into a lion. And he's just somewhere. There's a guy who rides a grasshopper as well as all the other humans inside that castle. What's up with them? What are they doing? Who knows? There's a bunch of cultists in the underworld that were worshiping Loki, that were wearing weird hoods and stuff and hanging out with the animals and stuff. What happened to them? There's a lot of weird stuff from the very beginning of Elbaf that was just never touched on once we went upstairs. Forest God, I mean, you know what? If the word Forest God actually is said by Oda, then like good for all of y'all saying that. Obviously there's something going on. Him having a special fruit would be interesting for sure at this point. Especially if it ties in with his whole, like, wanting to be a panacea type thing of him curing things. I'm cool with that. But, you know, him saying specifically, I am a forest god, we'll see about that. Is it because he's a reindeer? He was a reindeer before. So. I don't know. Does he have? He doesn't have. Also, he's not. Also, don't forget that he's not awakened. He does not have big clouds on him. If I speak. Because people are like, oh, he was able to, you know, get past all that. Get past all, like, the weirdness with Zone Awakenings. Because he got the Rumble Balls. But also his Rumble Balls, like, turn on Sulong, which that's a whole other thangaroonie going on. But we still have not seen an awakened Chopper. We haven't seen an awakened Robin yet, but who cares? Who cares about that? The awakened zones are the important thing nowadays. Unlike awakened people on the team. We have not seen an awakened Chopper yet. But we will. It'll be cool. Because he doesn't have his big old cloud stuff yet. But when he does that, then maybe it'll be this arc. Is that a prediction going on? Is that, will he properly awaken before that? I don't know. But yeah, I need to go too. Good chats. No break next week, so we're back at it.